What's going on, everybody? Hope you've been doing well. Coming back in with an update for GBP AUD, and we're going to get to USD JPY as well. Now, with GBP AUD and USD JPY, we've been in sort of a period of chop. Obviously, though, on the higher time frames, this periods of chop can result in pretty significant price swings. 100 pips here, 50 pips there. But the thing about this one that I find really interesting and significant is the fact that we had this swing high, right? We had these three pushes high, and this one just jumped out. This was looking very bullish, right? To people that were just watching, waiting to see what price was going to do after this zone of consolidation. They were probably looking at this saying, oh, the market broke out of consolidation. Now it's going to go long. And when you have a consensus of especially retail traders that are thinking, oh, I see what it's doing now, it broke out, it's going to go long, there's liquidity below. Meaning they're all buying here, then their stop losses are down here lower. They're sell orders. And if institutions wanted to pick up sell orders, they wanted to buy sell orders and sell them at a higher price, the smartest thing to do would be to invoke retail traders to buy up here, because then their stop loss orders are their forced sell orders, and that would be the liquidity that they'd be buying up at a cheaper price in order to take that into a higher high. So given this one, I do think we are bullish. But often when we see a confirmation of something being bullish, we might see liquidity being taken on the other end. And I like how this played out. It's almost like a nice rounded curve here. And, we have this zone of liquidity here that was just tapped into, and then price essentially rolled right out of this, which that means that orders were being taken and the buys versus the sells were being brought into balance. See, whenever you have a roll like this, it means the orders are saturated one way or another. So this sold off really hard, obviously. But then at this point, all of the sell orders, in other words, all of the stop loss orders from all of these longs started getting taken, and the volume reversed. So I think this is a good area of showing us where a lot of people got stopped out, a lot of people lost their liquidity, and the market may have taken the liquidity that it needs to actually push into higher highs here. Now, personally, I haven't been trading this pair in the past few weeks. I've been more focused on UJ, but it's always good to keep up on these. It's always good to watch, just pay attention, just notice how the price action plays out. So I don't have a specific target in mind for this one. Perhaps we're going to actually complete this fib sequence. If we do, that's a fairly significant move. So, 97.80, we're down at, give or take, 95 right now, 1.95. So there's a lot of room for this to actually have some upside potential. But I haven't gone into the nitty-gritty of the lower time frames to actually see how this is going to play out. I do just think it's bullish now because of what I've just explained. All right, so now USD JPY. This has been the one I've been following more closely. If you've seen my previous videos, I've been talking about this one for weeks now. Weeks now, watching to see this 151.11 be taken out. Obviously, we're pretty close to that now. We're about 60 pips off. But I would like to see 152 be taken on this pair. And that would be USD JPY and GBP AUD have been doing something similar in price. Now remember what I just explained in GBP AUD, these three pushes high. It was much less significant looking on this pair versus GBP AUD, but it's the same thing. We're up at this top zone, and one push high. Here, I'm going to go to the 3 hour because it looks more significant on the 3 hour. 1, 2, 3. These three pushes high, and that's beginning to make it look quote unquote bullish, right? So we saw these three pushes high. It invoked a lot of people to say, okay, I'm going long. I want to buy because we're breaking out of, again, this zone of consolidation. We're breaking out of this, and price is showing bullish behavior. So you're invoking a lot of people to actually take long orders. And now this was NFP for the beginning of March, and we dumped off. And what that shows me is that exactly what I said. A lot of people were buying right here, and their stop losses were right back in this liquidity zone that we have talked about for a couple weeks now. So, and this was significant. This was a real pump down. I mean, how low did we get here? What, 149.20, right? So we really took a dive there, but we wicked off of it, and now we're back respecting this zone again. So I do think now there's a possibility that this pair has taken the liquidity that it needs to actually pump higher and go into these higher highs. So remember that whenever price is going to make a move in any direction, it's the most advantageous for institutions to convince traders that it's going that direction and then take a strong move in the opposite direction to take all of their orders. Because if you were to think about this, if there were traders, retail traders that are buying right here, where are they placing their stop losses? Right, it's going to be below levels like this, below levels like this. So they sent this strong wick down using non-farm payroll as an excuse, essentially to move price. And they took all of their short orders, which is what a long order stop loss is, right? So they bought up all of these short orders and now they're holding them. See, that's what this higher low tells us right here, that they don't want to go back down here because they trapped all these orders in the market and then they want to sell them off at higher prices. So that is my speculation on this pair, on what's happening, on where the liquidity is. Again, I've been talking about for weeks how I want to see this 151.11 being taken out, and we're going to see if it does. I would love to see this just explode up to 152 because we've seen several moves in the last probably month, 2 months, even longer. Yeah, this goes back even to December, where we've covered several hundred pips in range. And now we've had this zone of consolidation. We have liquidity being taken on one end. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another 150, 200 pip move. And my bet is to the upside. Now, again, I say this every video. This is not intended to be financial advice. Because if you're just copying other people's trades, then you're not going to learn for yourself. And the best thing about knowledge of the markets is that when you understand it and when you get it for you and you don't have to think so hard about what's happening, it just makes sense for you, and you can align your psychology with the principles and actually trade consistently, you've bought yourself a skill set that will pay you for life. And that's what this is all about. I'm not necessarily trying to say, oh hey, take my trades. You can if you want, manage your own risk. But what I am trying to show here is my thought process behind what's actually happening here so you can understand it too. There is a rhyme and a rhythm to this business we call the markets. There's a way that it works, and there's a reason that Wall Street has these towers that they can pay for because they are consistently profitable. There's a reason behind that. There's a psychology that's universal that plays out within these markets, and that's the thing that I'm always trying to get at here. So with that, again, I hope you learned something. I hope this makes sense to you. If you have any comments, questions, opinions, please feel free to comment. Feel free to leave a comment down below. And with that, I wish y'all happy trading. Let's see what this does, and let's see if we can get some pips out of it this week. All right, take care.